The perfect rice for making fried rice. And you know we love fried rice on my channel. We have so many different versions of that amazing dish, but the thing that you need to get right is that steamed rice. Let's go through it, my friends. The perfect rice for fried rice. All right, so one of the things you guys ask me a lot, and I mean a lot, is how do you make the perfect rice for fried rice? Because of course, fried rice, you've got a lot of challenges. You've got the possibility of sticky, gluggy rice, which is awful. You've got the possibility of undercooked rice, also awful. And plus you want to have the perfect grain that's going to hold its shape when you do that stir frying. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off with some Thai jasmine rice. That's my preferred rice because I come from a half Thai family and my mum would literally kill me if I used any other kind of rice. Okay, so there we go. This is the rice I'm talking about. Any long grain rice, this kind of scenario is going to work. So what you want to do is pop your rice into a saucepan. Now I like to use a non-stick if I can, just because it makes it a little easier for the washing up. You still get a little bit of a crispy bottom, but it doesn't like really stick. So if you can, kind of like a non-stick surface. And look, there are loads of ways to cook rice. I'm not saying this is the best way or the only way. This is my way. It's also the way my mum told me to do it. So of course, you know, rice making is a very particular Asian thing. There's so many rules and superstitions and, I just do what my mum says and then everything is okay. All right, so we've got the rice in here. Now, how much water? So this is the thing, right? So if you cooked rice in a vacuum, so no other outside air pressure or, environment or anything, rice would cook ratio 1:1. 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. 100 grams of rice, 100 grams of water. That's the way it goes. But we're not cooking in a vacuum. We're cooking in a kitchen with air and all those things. So what happens is the water will start to evaporate as it heats up. We need to allow some, extra water for that evaporation. So I just add in, usually if I'm doing steamed rice, I'll add in an extra half a cup. And here's the thing, guys. So whether you're doing 1 cup of rice or 10 cups of rice, you still only need the extra half a cup. That's right, so you don't multiply. So I'm doing 2 cups here, 2.5 cups of water usually. 4 cups does not mean double the amount. It just means 4 cups plus that extra half little bit of water. And that's why when Asian mums tell you how to make rice, they use the finger method and you just put put your finger above the rice and then you have the water coming to the first knuckle. It's always the same, it doesn't matter how much rice you have. So there you go. But with rice for fried rice, we don't want the rice to be too fluffy or too kind of cooked through. I actually want it just sort of a little tiny bit under. So instead of the extra half cup, I'm just going to do the extra 1/4 cup. Same thing goes whether you're doing 1 cup, 2 cup, 10 cups for fried rice, just an extra 1/4 cup. That's all you need. Enough yabbering about the water. All right, let's get the water in here. Get the heat on. Now, I actually happen to have my Asian mother here, don't I? You guys know her as Mama Noi. Would you like to come and say hi to everyone, Mum?
Hi.
Wait. All right, thanks, Mum. Okay, so yes, this is all Mama Noi's doing. Okay, now what you want to do in here is I like to leave the lid off and I wait about 5 minutes on a high heat until the rice has sort of started to absorb and it kind of comes up over the water. Let's check back in 5 minutes and then you can visually see what I'm talking about. Come back, stay with me. Okay guys, so this is what I'm talking about. You can see just on the edges of the pot there, that rice starting to poke up out of the water. So that tells me it's time to put the lid on. So I put the lid on. I like to leave it just slightly ajar just to let some of that steam escape so we don't get that pesky boil over situation. Now we're going to turn the heat down to medium and come back and see how we're going in 5 minutes. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on in here, and we should be seeing like no water, lots of steam. The rice, if you have a look, if you get your fork in there, it will feel quite firm, so not quite cooked. That's just what we want. So I want to put the lid right on, so nice and tight now. Turn the heat completely off, and then just leave it to sit for 10 minutes, and that's going to allow the rest of that steam to kind of get in there and gently make sure that everything is perfectly cooked. So let's come back in 10 minutes. All right, thanks for sticking with me, guys. Let's get back in here and have a look. You know what? The smell of jasmine rice, it has, the reason it's called jasmine rice or hom mali in Thai is that you get that jasmine flower fragrance. Get so, you know, about rice. I'm a good Asian, get thingy about rice. Okay, now what we want to do here is use a fork, because a fork will break up the rice grains less and just kind of fluff everything up a little bit. Now this is looking really good, not very sticky at all. And look, in an ideal world, you would be doing this the day before you're going to make fried rice. But of course, you know, we don't live in an ideal world, and I too am unorganized at times. So what I do if I'm going to cook fried rice like right now is I just tip it all out onto a tray. Now spread the rice out just to give it lots of room to cool down. Now you want to get this into the freezer, because all that cold, dry air is going to dry out the rice grains just like it's been cooked the day before, almost as good. So you want to go in there for about like 15 minutes, 10 minutes at least. And there you go, guys, the perfect rice for fried rice, fluffy but not too fluffy, just undercooked but not too undercooked. Have a look at it, you know, it's just the perfect texture. Just a little bit of bite, that's what you want, so that when you go to stir fry and to make that fried rice, it won't go gluggy. Off you go, guys. Loads of fried rice adventures on my channel. Please check them out and enjoy.